Okay, namaskar. My name is Aditi Shrivastava, also known as Itida. आज मैं आपको join कर रही हूँ from Los Angeles, California. Thank you, Kaashi Virasat Foundation, for including me in this segment of yours. It's I'm very honored to be a part of this segment with fellow NRIs and musicians and artists from abroad. It's very thoughtful that you considered key artists and students of music like us should also be able to tell our journey in music, because our journeys are a little bit different, a little bit challenging than the typical journey of an Indian artist from India studying Indian classical music in India. So thank you for including me in this segment, and I thank all of you guys for coming online today to watch and hear about my journey in Indian classical music and Indian music, and as I have progressed into fusion music. So I welcome you all to this segment with me. So thank you. I wanted to tell my journey. I was born in Lucknow. My father's family belongs to Lucknow for the past 10 generations, so I consider myself very Lucknowi at heart, and I thank that to my roots. When I was about 5 years old or so, we moved here to America, and we've been living in California, Los Angeles, ever since. So I was a typical, NRI girl, raised in a family where my parents kept all the kids with a good balance of East and West culture. So one of the things that was very prominent in any NRI's life is, music and, film culture, music culture of India. We try our best living abroad to keep that intact, and our parents also try their best to encourage us to keep our Indian culture intact. So like a lot of NRI kids, they are involved in learning like any form of art of Indian classical, whether it's dance or music or any kind of art. So since I was a kid, I used to sing a lot. I was surrounded by a very diverse musical diverse musical taste in my house, because my parents are very big music lovers. My mom is really into old Hindustani, Bollywood music, and my father, along with the Bollywood music of the evergreen era. He's also very fond of Hindustani classical, of ghazals. So growing up, we were exposed to hearing such songs, and also my daddy, my paternal grandmother, she was an artist herself, though she did not pursue it, but she belonged from Allahabad, and she was also a music scholar. And I remember, I have little memories of her because she passed away when I was very small. She was very fond of folk music, having musical gatherings at home. So, the talent of singing, I think in me comes from her. And I, I, I explored it more so because my parents used to encourage me to sing in Indian functions and, Indian community events. And it was more like, here's a song, try to sing it, and I would perform it. So that helped. I enjoyed singing, but I never really explored it. So after college, I, was gonna, I started, my law school, and there was a little time gap where we took a trip to India because my brother was getting married. And I used to write, poems and stuff, and I had a good mix of Hindi and English. So I would write in Hindlish, as they say in India. Um, so I would just write random songs, like 4 lines, and it will just be like things that will, just come out of experience or out of like influence of music. And I remember we took, during that time, I just shared with my father that, I have this dream, I want to explore singing because I've been writing so much. And, क्या आप सोचते हैं, is it a good idea that you know, I should try a bit into singing? So he told me that before you begin anything, you need to have a good base. You cannot build a house without having a good base. So if you want to explore this, you need to have the right guidance, and for that you need like a good guru, a good teacher. And I have, so it was his suggestion at that time that in his eyes, the best teacher I could have was, Girja Devi ji, Appaji. And I also was fond of her because I used to listen to her recordings because my dad had a collection of Indian classical music. And when I saw her, like, photos and stuff, I always found her very beautiful. There was something about Appaji that was very captivating. She had something about her, whether it was her beauty or whether it was her aura. It reflected whether you saw a photo of Appaji or heard her songs or met her in person. So my father said, let this wedding, let us finish the wedding, and then let me try to see if I can find Appaji for you. And, let's go and see, if she's willing to teach you. And he gave me that time, to really understand that if this is something I wanted in life, or to do in that moment, because it's not easy getting into a law school in America or anywhere, but I worked really hard to get into a law school and to take that break and explore this, a completely different track in life. It's a big risk, but there was something in me, and I think every artist maybe has it, that there's this calling. You have this sort of a gut feeling. So my gut feeling really said to me that explore this, try. And I was very nervous. I remember my mother and my father, they supported me and actually really encouraged me. And we went to Banaras by road from Lucknow to Varanasi. And I never in my life thought I would ever come to a city like Varanasi, or come, it was just completely different. So we went there. I met Appaji and I met Munni Didi, her daughter. I met a few of my colleagues that were there, and it was a moment in my life, I think, where it really has stuck with me. Like the first time I saw her coming out to the living room, seeing her in person, like I said, Appaji carried this aura around her. It was something that will attract anybody towards her. And she met us. I was very nervous because my Hindi was not so good. My father had a rule in the house when we were growing up here that you have to speak Hindi. He said, you speak English everywhere, but if you don't speak Hindi, it will go away. You will never understand it, or can communicate with us or your own people. So never forget who you are and where you come from. So my Hindi was okay. It wasn't like the best, but yes, I could speak it conversationally. I cannot read and write in Hindi, so thanks to that, I was able to communicate with Appaji. And Munni Didi, she was really good translator. So I was very nervous. I sang for her. And I remember one of the songs that really influenced me to explore singing or writing was A.R. Rahman's Gainda Phool. It came out from the movie Delhi 6. I'm sure a lot of Bollywood movie lovers and fans of A.R. Rahman remember that. So Gainda Phool really called out to me because it was very Uttar Pradesh, in folk style. The words, the beat. I really liked the way he took a folk song and made it so cool, if I can say that. It was very innovative. And I remember how that stuck with me. So I sang Gainda Phool for Appaji. She smiled, and she was very kind to say that she will take me as her shishya. Though it must have been a very challenging decision for her also, because at that time when I met her, she was 83 years old. An 83-year-old legendary artist does not need another student, especially a student like me, who she has to start from Saregamapa, but the fact that she said yes, it meant a lot to me and my family, because you could really see that she was so dedicated to teaching anybody who wanted to learn. And my parents, when we went to our hotel room, they said to me, this decision will change your life. And it's going to be very, very, very tough. And I remember I thought, can I give up that life I have and adapt to this life, this new life, for however long I have to be with Appaji. And I remember my mom said that if you're gonna go to her, you need to forget who you are. Forget whatever uh, you were used to living and whatnot, and just go and be with her and be as per her. That is the best way you could learn. So the journey went from there. It was very difficult because I did not, like I said, I did not know Hindi so well. I could not understand what I was learning, but I really wanted to learn, which I think is the case with a lot of foreign artists, foreign students, and NRI students like myself. The hardest part was language. I I could speak Hindi, but to hear Hindi spoken so fast, and Hindi also has different accents. Like a Gujarati person speaking Hindi is very different from a Maharashtrian person speaking Hindi. So the dialects, the accent, I'm from Uttar Pradesh. I'm used to Awadhi, but I was not used to Bhojpuri, which Appaji spoke quite frequently because she was Banarsi. So this Banarsi language was also very difficult to grab. The Bandishein in Banaras Gharana, which she started teaching, had Banarsi language, the Bhojpuri language. How do I sing it? When she's singing something like, like a Tumri, and it has these words. I just couldn't. So I remember first, few days, it was like I was just staring. I couldn't understand anything. The thing about Appaji was like you record it, because of course, like I've said many times, and it's very good now to have, is the recordings from the class. So I used to record, I used to write in English, Roman, Hindi. I used to sit right next to her and watch how her fingers would move on the harmonium, and how she would move her mouth when she would sing. Like if she's singing "Tha re raho ba ke sham," so when she would sing something like that, it was just, I was paying attention to the words, how her mouth would move, where she would play on the piano, because I knew that those are the notes within those 7 notes that I have to sing in. And I would listen to the flow. So when she's singing, like, Tha re raho ba ke sham, ba ke shama. So when I would write in my book, I would, draw over my words, like as in like a diagram. It was, and Appaji would always laugh at me. She's like, "What is this girl doing?" And I would tell her, I would say, "I cannot understand the notes, but I can understand your flow, the way you're singing each word." So I would draw a design over it. So it'd be like, "Ta re ra ho." Like, it was just my own little system that I started to make, because I remembered what my mother said, that I have to give it my all and I cannot quit. Because at the age of 83, Appaji was teaching this girl from scratch. And Appaji had nothing to lose. She had and has about 100 or more students around the world. But I, as a student, only have that one chance to learn from a legend like Appaji. So I had everything to lose if I quit. So I made that system, and learned from her, and it turned out very beautiful journey. I recommend to anybody, an NRI like me or a foreign artist, coming to India to learn or learning here abroad, that if you really want to learn it and you're really passionate for Hindustani classical music, though it is very difficult, don't quit. Make your own system, and you just don't know. That system will make you learn it, in a much clearer way, in a better way. And I did. Appaji taught me from Tumri, Dadra, Cheti, everything in Banaras Khan. She even taught me Tappa, which, for the life of me, I may never be able to sing, because technicality is something that takes years to master. I don't have the, I have, I have the knowledge of singing Tappa, but I don't have the technicality of singing Tappa. And it will take a while. So Tapa, Khyal, Tumri, Dadra, Cheti, so many things are there that she taught me. And she didn't, she was not, you can say the Hindi word, kanjus. Like, she was not depriving me from learning anything. And she had me learn every single thing, whether that class had scholarly students from ITC SRA and my fellow Guru Bhais, Behens. I shared that journey with, all of them. And she had me record, she had me learn it. I still remember to this day, whenever I would spend time with her in Banaras, she would always, 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 make me go one-to-one with her. So Appaji would sit down in the daytime when there was nobody around, and we will have our one-to-one session. She will have me revise, a khyal in Suddh Sarang. She would have me revise Bilas Khani Tori. These are things that will take me ages to sing, but she had me sing one-to-one with her. And that, I feel, is my blessing. I, as a student, was so lucky to have a guru like Appaji, because she made my journey easier. She made me realize that if you put in your hard work into learning something, and you have somebody who is equally dedicated to working hard to teach you as a guru, nothing can go wrong. I remember she would always say that in her life, she had one life as Appaji, and it's not even enough for her to dig and gather the knowledge, the treasure of knowledge, unka khazana, as she would say. She's like, is life mein main abhi tak apna wo khazana nahi dhoond pai, and she said, tum log ke paas wo time hai to dig up that khazana for me, for the ancestors of Banaras Gharana, for Indian classical music. That thing really stuck with me as I was continuing to learn from her. I might go a little bit over time, I'm sorry, but forgive me. If you want to stick around, please do. That really stuck to me, that she was such a student. She was a legend. She was brilliant. There was nobody else like Girja Devi ji. she sang the same tumris, dadras from Banaras Gharana that, legendary artists before her have sung. But the way she sang Babul Mora Nair Chuto Jai, the way she sang Ganga Reti Pe Bangla Chavaida More Raja, the way she sang so many bandishe, if you want to hear it, as a lover of Indian classical music, you will play Babul Mora by Girja Devi ji, because an artist, a student of Banaras Gharana, like her, made that her own. And as I observed her and I spent time with her, because I was doing Guru Shishya Parampara. I left my law school aspirations behind as I was diving into the journey of music, the world of music through Appaji, and being in India. I remember I thought to myself that Appaji didn't become Appaji because she learned classical music and she practiced and perfected it. She became it because whatever she learned, she put her own soul into whatever she sang. So the bandishe became something you remember of Appaji's, And I said, I became more of because I'm a lover of history. I did my pre-law in history, and so I thought there's so much more for me to dig and understand. And if I want to become an artist, if I want to pursue music, I need to understand, how I'm gonna go about it. How is Aditi gonna become Itida? Itida is basically my name backwards, written backwards, because I went backwards in life, A girl from LA going to India, learning music, and then having a career in music. I never thought that I would ever be spending time there for so long and doing this. So it was a surprising decision for myself and also for people who know me, and my family was very supportive. They said, okay, if you really want to do it, do it, and you're doing well. If I was not doing well, I don't think I would have become Itida. So I started taking those tumris, those bandishe, and understanding the painting behind it. So if you are looking at, Mora Saiya Bulave Adhi Raat, Nadia Beri Bahi. So if those words, I would spend time with Appaji, understand those words, what they mean, and then I would try to compose with that. So I, with the influences I had in music, I started writing songs, and I came out with my first album in 2013 through Hangama Music. It was pen and paper, which was solely based on my music influences. It was pop, hip-hop, R&B, different eclectic, acoustic. So those songs were just me writing and exploring. And a lot of what came out in those songs was also, I put a dedication to my dadi, because my talent comes from my paternal grandmother. So I sang a UP folk song, which is very popular, wedding folk song, Banno Teri Akhiyan, and I even sang it for Appaji, and she quite liked it. So when I explored the Indian classical music, I also started exploring my writing and seeing how I fuse the two worlds together in myself as an artist and in my music, in my writing. So I'm going to sing for you how I created Banno Teri Akhiyan as a composition. So you take the song and then you put in the English bit into it, and I kept the English bit also close to what the meaning and the words and the feel of that wedding folk song is. So when बन्नो तेरी अखियाँ सुर में दानी, बन्नो तेरा झुमका लाख कारे, बन्नो तेरा कंगना है हजारे, बन्नो तेरी अखियाँ सुर में दानी, बन्नो तेरा झुमका लाख कारे, बन्नो तेरी झांझर है हजारे, बन्नो. Look at little Banno sitting over there, झुमका झांझर जोड़ा, गजरा in her hair. Look at little Banna walking over here, barata in his kora, set on his hair. Look at little Banno sitting over there. Look at little Banna walking over here. तेरा गोरा सा मुखड़ा, ये मुस्कुराहट प्यारी शर्मीली अदाएं हमारी दुलारी, ये फूलों की डोली में सज के सवार के चली, बन्नो अपने बनने के द्वार पे. बन्नो तेरी अखियाँ सुर में दानी, बन्नो तेरा झुमका लाख कारे, बन्नो तेरा कंगना है हजारी, बन्नो तेरी अखियाँ सुर में दानी, बन्नो तेरा झुमका लाख कारे, बन्नो तेरी झांझर है हजारी, बन्नो. So that was Banno. That was my take on Banno. So if you hear that Banno, you will think of Itida. And I sang this for Appaji, and it's also part of my album Pen and Paper. So that did really well, you know. It became something, and I felt good when I created something like this, because it allowed me to pat myself on the back that I learned something and I grew from it, and I incorporated that knowledge into myself as an artist. Then I remember Tumri. There are a few things in Banaras Gharana Classical that have really stuck with me. One is Tumri, which Banaras Gharana Classical is so known for. Appaji popularized it so much through her efforts. Tumri, I love the feel of Tumri. Tumri, Banaras Gharana style, has a lot of feeling. You link a bandish to God, or you link it to somebody you love. And I love the aspect of it because it showed a lot of divineness in the meaning behind the style of singing in Banaras Gharana. And Appaji would always make you understand that. She's like, you could sing it for Shyam, or you could sing it for your Shyam, It's about how you sing it. So when I started writing more and more, progressing more towards fusion, because I made it a goal that if Appaji has invested so much effort in teaching me how to sing at this age, and giving me so much knowledge from Banaras Gharana and not depriving me any bit of it, I need to do something for her. Her pure classical students will always try their best to carry on their lineage. I want to carry on her lineage through fusion music and semi-classical because I think knowledge is knowledge, and her legacy should live on in all different genres of music. So it is my my little bit of respect for her for all that she did, and also my love for her, and uh, a kind of like a dedication to her lifelong as an artist, that I am I will always be grateful for all that she's given me. So I composed another song which I sang for her, and when I sang this song composition for her, she gave me permission. She did not allow her classical students, classical music students, to explore fusion. But when she heard this composition, we had this moment during the day where we would spend time with each other, because I would give her head massage. I really wanted to relieve her of tension. And she would always have this like headache kind of a thing. And I always enjoyed that moment that I had with her, giving her, a head massage. And we would discuss a lot of things. And I would say, Apaji, I have been writing a few songs. Would you want to hear it? And she was so encouraging. She said, yes. She's like, so now. She wanted to hear everything, It wasn't restricted just to hearing classical music. She was fond of ghazals, Begum Akhtar, so many people she was fond of, Farida Khanamji, and in Bollywood music too, She even heard Lungi Dance, and she actually heard the whole song. I mean, that song, Lungi Dance, she heard the whole song. So she was very encouraging. She's like, okay. And I said, Apaji, but these are not pure classical compositions. They're not pure classical songs. So it's just me and my thoughts that I have been writing. So would you want to hear it? And she said, ha, bilkul sunao. So I sang for her this song. 1 second. And this song was, it goes like this. So I took the thought of a tumri and put it into this composition. डोरी लड़ी डोर से पतंग कट जाए रे, डोरी लड़ी डोर से पतंग कट जाए रे, नैनवा की डोर लड़ी, जिया मर जाए रे, काहे तू ना आए रे, काहे तू ना आए रे, काहे तर पाए रे, seasons they go by, I still wait for that moment when I see your face. बीता जाए सावन रे, बीता जाए सावन रे, बीता जाए सावन रे, seasons they go by, I still wait for that moment when I see your face. So I sang this for Apaji, and she really had this look on her face, and she's like, "Ba bitya, tu to seekh li?" And I said, "What did I learn?" And she said, "Tu seekh li, acha gaya, तूने लिखा? हमने बोला, I did write it, you know. And I said, I told her how I composed it, how I wrote it. And she's like, तू कर सकती है, you know, I give you permission to do fusion. But she told me never never confuse the fusion. If you're going to do it, उसको तुम सिखाओ, fusion से तुम सिखाओ कि तूने क्या सीखा है. And that was very important to me, and I still keep that intact, that whatever I compose, I write, I remain true to my guru, her teaching, her thought, the thought of Banaras Gharana, and also the thought of where my roots are from, you know, Uttar Pradesh music culture. So yes, I think I have spoken for a while, but I hope you have been able to understand this journey of mine. That, you know, Appaji said to me that a journey of an artist is like a journey of a student. वो कभी ख़त्म नहीं होती है. हम लोग जब तक इस दुनिया में हैं, हम लोग सीख रहे हैं. And yes, I still learn from every single thing. I may not be able to sing, you know, a tumri the way, you know, my guru bhai bahans sing it, but I can sing it straight the way Appaji taught me. Like I'll sing a bit. One of my favorite is Thare Raho Bhake Sham, and I'll sing that. Thare Raho Bhake Sham, Bhake Sham, Thare Raho Bhake Sham, Gagariya mein घर धरिया थाड़े रहो बाके शाम, गगरी में धरी आऊं, चुनरी पहरी आऊं, गगरी में धरी आऊं, चुनरी पहरी आऊं, करी आऊं 16 श्रृंगार, गगरिया में घर धरिया थाड़े रहो बाके शाम. So Appaji, when she explained this to me, you know, I love the feeling of it, how Radha ji is saying to Shyam, you know, just wait for a bit, let me put the gagri, let me get a little bit ready, and I will come. So I may not be able to sing it like a full Hindustani classical scholarly student or my Guru Bhai Bahans, but the way Appaji has taught me to sing it straight and retain the feeling of the bandish, I know that whenever I do riyaz or I sing it or hum it or even present it to somebody, you know, because I really want to tell everybody I had a guru. I had a guru who taught me everything. And I think that is the most beautiful thing, you know, a gift my parents have given me is Appaji in a form of a guru and God, gave me Appaji in a form of a guru, um, you know, who gave me all this knowledge. So now it's up to me as an artist what I do with it. So to all my fellow, you know, students out there, my fellow colleagues, my, you know, the NRIs, the foreign students who want to explore Hindustani classical, find a guru who is willing to put in the effort to teach you, who is not going to deprive you from teaching you as much as they can. And you should put in, if your guru is putting in 100%, you should put in at least 110%. Because a guru can have a lot of students, but a student can only have one really good guru. So if you have that in your life, please take it with, you know, full respect. And if you want to pursue your music further in any genre, there is nothing that's going to stop you as long as you remain true to what you have been taught, and what is the thought of your guru, and the music you want to you want to showcase as your music to the world. So don't let anything stop you. If you have a good support system like I did, like my family, my guru, my friends, and relatives, there's nothing that's going to stop you. And also the number one thing is your passion for pursuing music and doing it well. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope my journey in music has been a story for you to know, and I look forward to sharing music and more stories for years to come with all of you. And thank you, Kaashi Virasat Foundation and Muni Didi, for including me in this segment. And that's it. Lots of love and namaste to all of you guys who are watching and will watch later. Okay, thank you so much.